Welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to discuss the 1070 Ti. Yeah, you heard that right. Nvidia supposedly is coming out with a 1070 Ti. And what does this mean? Well, in business terms, this is a stupid idea on the part of Nvidia. The reason why I consider this to be a stupid idea is Nvidia was in a really good place for a long time in the graphics market, and it's still in a really good place. But with them bringing out a new interim mid-range GPU that falls in between the 1070 and the 1080 with approximately the same performance as the 1080, just so they don't have to cut prices, this is a stupid business move. The reason I consider this to be a stupid business move is you're basically telling all of your customers, Nvidia is, that we don't care. We could care less how much you just spent on a graphics card, once again, just like they did with the 1080 Ti and the new Titan XP. Nvidia has determined that their customers are stupid and that they don't want to change their pricing on any of their cards. Nvidia would have done much better to have come out or started mentioning a new series of graphics cards and just cut the prices on the 10 series graphics cards instead of bringing out this new card that basically makes the 1080 pointless and the 1070 also pointless. And it's costing them money to even bring this card to the table. The 1070 Ti, they're going to have to change production to manufacture this card, because this is going to be based on the same processor as the 1080 and the 1070 are currently based, with a different CUDA core count. So they're going to have to mark off the die in a different way. And there's a lot of things that go into making one of these cut down dies that cost money to develop. As I said, I just do not understand. I cannot understand what is going through the minds of Nvidia right now, even thinking about bringing out a new card between the 1070 and the 1080 when this architecture has been out now for well over a year. Okay, as I said, from a business standpoint, this is utterly ridiculous. What Nvidia should have done is drop the price of their graphics cards by $20 to $50. They've already made their revenue back on these cards because they have been out for so long and have sold extremely well. They've already made their R&D back, their cost of productions back. They've made everything back. But they're just not willing to cut the prices by $50 to make them relevant in their price categories, which is an incredibly dumb move. So basically what Nvidia is doing is putting off onto the consumer the idea that, our cards aren't quite where they should be monetarily, so we're just going to kind of throw one in the middle. This video is direct and to the point, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I want everyone to know that as a business standpoint, this can only serve to hurt Nvidia if they go through with it. If they come out and actually bring out the 1070 Ti, this is actually going to hurt them. And it's going to hurt them because they're spending more money on a architecture that they should not be improving. They should be worrying about the next architecture that should be coming out in the spring instead of doing this, and they should be lowering the prices on their current cards by $50 to make them more cost productive in their given price range. And given that AMD at this moment is having such a hard time with producing the Vega graphics cards, in all realisticness, Nvidia doesn't have to do anything, and they'll look like a much better company for not doing anything in the market at this moment in time. I'm all for competition, and I'm all for the market moving forward. But this is not the market moving forward. This is we're going to do this because we're either too lazy, or we just don't feel that there's enough competition to push the market forward. This is a sidestep. This is not something new, something good, something grand. This is we could give a shit less. We want to go ahead and make more money off of this architecture because that's all it is for us now. It's just profit. Yes, the numbers look good, and as I said, the 1080 or the 1070 Ti, supposedly is going to come in about 5% slower than the 1080. This is why it's going to make the 1080 pointless. Is you're looking at a $50 to $100 increase for 5% more performance between this 1070 Ti and the 1080. Why the hell would anybody pay that? I mean, seriously, why would anyone pay that? And once again, why couldn't you just lower the price by $50 on the 1080 to make it more cost productive? The business world, especially in computer parts and graphics and well, anything having to do with computers really, is a complicated mess, and it has been for many years. There's not always a good answer to something, but in this case, I think that Nvidia chose the worst answer because they're literally extending the life of the 10 series graphics cards. We all knew that when the 1080 Ti came out, that meant Nvidia was not going to bring a new architecture to the table for at least another year. So the idea of getting a 2000 series or 1100 series or whatever, it definitely is not happening this year. And we should probably maybe see it in the spring or early summer of next year. Well, this card kind of gives them ability to push that forward even farther to fall of next year, when AMD plans on releasing Vega 20 or the next rendition of Vega. So they're basically just kind of pushing it forward. Well, this is going to make the market even more stale than it currently is as far as the Nvidia architectures go. Don't get me wrong, Pascal was a very good architecture. It had awesome performance for what it was. It has great power savings for what it does. But it is not the end-all be-all of architectures, and we can definitely see that when you look into 4K gaming and things of that nature. The market has to continue to move forward for it to matter. And in this case, Nvidia is doing everything they can to appease the now without moving that market forward. This is a bad place for a company to put itself in. I really want my viewers to sit back and understand that this channel and what I tend to comment on are business decisions and mistakes or wins. But I think in the most part, this is a fail. This is a giant fail from Nvidia because it shows that they could give a crap less about their customers. They don't care about the people buying their products. They just want to checkmark a little box that says, oh, look, we got a graphics card in the same price range now that beats the Vega 56 that no one can get a hold of. And right now is costing $100 to $200 more than the SEP or suggested e-tail pricing. So why even respond to that? Why even put it out there like you care about it if you're in a place where you should not be caring about it? People need to step back and realize that this, much like, I'm not going to say Coffee Lake, but the new rumors about the 8-core coming out next year from Intel, they're just placeholders. They're fillers in the market to say, hey, look, we are doing something. But no, we're really not. You know, these are not things that matter to the market and that move or drive the market forward. These are bullshit. Oh yeah, but we're going to do this kind of things. And people shouldn't get caught up in this too much. The Vega fiasco was something that we were all in the tech industry, we were all kind of looking forward to until it came out. But at least it was a new architecture. It was actually a step forward. So as bad as it was, as bad as everything was on release dates and how hard it is to get a hold of cards and everything now, it was still a step forward for AMD. Coffee Lake, which is coming out probably in a month, is still a step forward for Intel, even though it's a hugely bad move for Intel to bring it out this year, because they're just pissing off their customers too. AMD taking so long to get the Pro Series of Ryzen chips out, also bad for their customers, because they're missing an entire area of the market, which is the business class workstation. They don't have anything in there because I guess they must have told the OEMs, well, hold off until we get these Pro Series out, and we'll put these in the workstation PCs instead of just regular Ryzen. So it's not that any company is really making good business decisions this year. It's just some companies aren't sucking as bad in their business decisions as others. Now, granted, this is 2 strikes. Well, I'll actually say this is 3 strikes against Nvidia this year. First off, the first strike was them coming out with the new Titan XP, which showed that they didn't bother to put out a full card to begin with when they put out the Titan XP. There's business mistake number 1. You just told everybody who bought a $1,200 graphics card, we didn't even try. And oh yeah, now it's not even worth close to that because, well, here's this new one that is faster and better and everything that the old one should have been, but we wanted to make more money on it, so we sold you that one, and now we're going to sell you this one. And then a month later, well, not even a month later, oh yeah, well, here's the 1080 Ti, which is built on the new one, which is almost as fast as the new Titan XP, that is faster than the old Titan X, that is also Pascal. So guess what? Even though you just spent $1,200 on this new graphics card, you could have only spent $700 or $800 and got the same thing, or pretty close to it. I mean, that's mistake number 2. And then to go ahead and bring out, or even allow these rumors about this 1070 Ti, Nvidia once again is saying, oh look, we don't give a crap that you just spent $600 on a 1080 or $550 on a 1080, because we're going to bring out a 1070 Ti that is within 5% for around $100 less, coming in around the $450 mark. And we don't know if that's before or after Nvidia tax, because obviously, it's going to be a Founders Edition probably first, which we all know adds to the price. This year has been pretty much bad news across the board. Good topics, but bad news. And hopefully the rest of this year is going to go on without too many more of these issues coming up, and without too many more idiots taking the helm of the big 3 in the tech industry. Because right now that's what it looks like. It looks like we have idiots taking the helm on the public side of these companies and making these business decisions that piss all over their own customers. Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it for today. I know this video is more of kind of a rant due to the subject matter and the fact that, anytime a company pisses on its customers, it's not doing itself or the industry any favors. But I guess that's where we are now. Well, anyway, if you like what I do, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe. I do need to get a couple more subscribers, and I am trying to put more videos out. I will try to have a couple more videos out this week, actually, on some other subjects that I've been working on. But like I said, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you don't like what I do here, you know, there are 1,000 other tech channels out there that you can go look at, and maybe one of them will suit your needs a little bit better. But I just feel that no one's really covering the business market, and no one's giving an honest and fair review of how the companies are actually treating their customers at this point in time, whether they're in business or even in the consumer markets. All right, until the next video, have a good one.